Yo, what's good to another episode of the MIGO Experiment? Yo soy Henry Flo.
Y yo soy Willy V.
Yo, with us, tenemos el placer, man, to have the only one, man, been doing this professionally over 22 years, yo, with us, yo, former Cumbia King. Then he became like the soloist, man, hitting all the sugars and all them things, obsessions, man, for you, man, on the road at the weddings. You heard him, yo. Con nosotros, we have.
It's your brother Frankie J.
Yes, man. Welcome. Bienvenidos,
Henry,
man.
Welcome to the show.
I appreciate you guys, man. Thank you for for allowing me to be here with you guys and for this time. It's definitely an honor to hang with you guys, man.
I appreciate it, man. I appreciate you making time for the MIGO Experiment, man, and actually, be keeping it. We're a type of a show that pretty much, man, we keep it real with all nuestro talento Latino out there. We started locally, now we're becoming, well, nationwide, universally, man, entrevistando everybody who's actually making a difference, made a difference, and who's been played at all the weddings, too. So,
that's the stamp right there. That's the platform right there. If you're not played at any quinceañeras or weddings, you didn't do anything.
Yo, speaking about that, man, let's get right into it. Tell me, man, about Canciones que Recuerdan, this new album you just released, man. It's speaking about weddings and all that stuff. What made you do?
Canciones que Recuerdo is basically an album that is a reminder of my childhood, the songs that I grew up with my parents, with my abuelitos, my tios, my tias, the whole family, the whole shebang. It's an album that I put together along with a very good friend of mine named Charles Chavez, who's my business partner in this. And, one day me and him were just having this conversation about how long I've been in this industry and how much we've done in our journey in this music game. And one day he came up with this idea of me doing a standard album, meaning a cover album of nothing but songs that have been big records in the past. And he was having a conversation with my old A&R, John Delp, Mr. John Delp from out there in the East Coast in New York, in Connecticut, when I was signed to Columbia Records and Sony. And, they were having this convo about me, like what's been going on, what am I doing? And they were discussing, about these ideas of doing this project. And, this was probably about 4 years ago. Fast forward to now, here I am manifesting it into reality and picking each individual song by myself on my own, because I wanted to, have that nostalgic vibe, that nostalgic feeling when I was recording this album. And that's exactly what happened. So Canciones que Recuerdo, songs I remember, son canciones que para mí me hacen recordar mi niñez con mi familia, que me hacen sentir como un sentido de nostalgia, ¿no? Que como que te hace revivir las memorias de tu niñez. So, Canciones que Recuerdo is definitely, to me, a classic album.
Yeah, I was about to say, man, porque esas canciones that you got on that thing with Jose Luis Perales, Vicente Fernández, Javier Solís, just to name a few. You know what I mean? Juan Gabriel. Like, dude, you hit it everywhere, bro. So, like, when I heard the album, I'm like, my man just did a whole cover to everything my mama played, contaba, Decepcionada or whatever my dad was playing as well, too, at some point. I'm like, yo.
Waking up at 7 in the morning on a Saturday.
Man. Yeah, 7 in the morning, it was El Viejo del Sombrerón I was listening to, man. It was a big...
Esas canciones, man, son canciones que son tan ricas, que escuchas y dices tú, wow, me recuerdan a un cierto momento donde yo estaba con mi familia festejando. Una canción de José José, una canción de Juan Gabriel. By the way, La Farsante, which is one of my personal favorites from Juan Gabriel, that was the very first song that I decided to record on this album. And I was always curious to hear myself with a mariachi. And I always wanted to hear my voice other than, you know, with a different style of music, other than doing the R&B and the pop and all that stuff. Because I've always wanted to do this kind of music, you know, because it's part of my culture. It's you know, I've been around it all my life, and I took a chance on recording it. And you know, as soon I tell this to everybody, as I was recording this song, I'm thinking to myself, what the hell did I get myself into? You know, 'cause they're not easy songs to sing. It's not
bro.
an R&B record that you can just flow with it and be good with it and all that. There's different types of rhythms in a song of this nature, of this style with mariachi. And, you know, it's a different kind of emotion that you put into it. I don't know what it is, but it's something about the Spanish language that gives it it's like it takes it to another level. And Juan Gabriel was just a phenomenal singer. He had such a high range and an incredible songwriter. So as I'm trying to sing this song, I'm thinking, damn, I'm running out of breath. I'm like, man, I need to run more. I need to do exercise more. Something, man.
Your diaphragm ain't working the same. He's like, oh,
yeah, my diaphragm was like, oh, I'm not used to this kind of stuff. But luckily, man, I learned the song and I was able to pull it off. And that was my very first song, like recording. And I was like, okay, if I can get through this, I could breeze through the other ones. So, but yeah, man, it was the first song that I recorded on this album, and it was probably the hardest song to record.
Mi cariño, resultaste traicionera. Tú me hiciste rebelde, tú me hiciste tu enemigo, porque me traicionaste sin razón ni sin motivo.
Oh, so big respect to, you know, rest in peace, Juan Gabriel. The way he hit that thing, my man had a range, bro.
Oh my God.
Speaking about that, out of all these artists, man, like I said, Jose, Vicente Fernandez, Luis Miguel, Javier Solís, Juan Gabriel, you know, there's so many different, you know, legends that you covered. And I actually noticed in the range, yeah, and by the way, I did hear the range. You know, he had, man, este cabrón, man, he went ahead and recorded this joke because he wanted to go ahead and expose his range because, you know, the other stuff, R&B, you expose it, but not really because it's rhythmic. It's going to like a certain, you know, you got to have a certain
vibe.
Yeah, and like ranchera, you know, it's like the Mexican blues, man, the way you sing it and go with it with the heart and soul.
There's something about that sound, you know, another song that was pretty tough to do was a song called El Triste by Jose Jose.
Yeah.
Because Jose Jose was known, and this is why he was called El Príncipe de la Canción, because whenever he would sing, I don't know if you guys notice, but in the 1970 recording of the video that he sang El Festival de la Canción, where he sang live for the first time, El Triste, and he's singing it with such passion. He was going through something at that moment. He was going through something personal at that time. And when he sang this song, he took a big breath, and you could probably, you know, see that he doesn't even take another one. Like he's literally singing word for word and he's not even breathing. The guy's he was not human. And so the song kind of has that, like you have to take this long breath and then sing word for word until the chorus comes in. So it was a very tough song to record because of that. And I sang it in I think it was probably either half tone or one full step up of how he sang it as far as the key range. So it was a little bit harder, you know, to do. But I gotta say, man, between those two songs, I think La Farsante from Juan Gabriel and El Triste by Jose Jose were probably the two the most difficult ones out of the whole bunch of songs that I picked.
Those are soulful songs, man. Very soulful songs.
Oh,
and
yeah.
out of all these artists, man, like who was the influence that influenced Frankie J's sound? Like you know, boom, this is I like it. I like this, I like that. Like,
Yeah.
what formulas will make you, would you say?
I mean, if you were to say like what makes Frankie J, man, I would say, man, from all the traditional songs that I've heard throughout my entire life, I mean, you could go from Pedro Infante to Frank Sinatra to Michael Jackson to Stevie Wonder to Lionel Richie to Luis Miguel. You know, man, I mean, there's so many mixtures of genres, styles from Brian McKnight even to like George Lamond freestyle, you know, freestyle music back in the days, you know, early 80s, mid 90s. I was listening to different sounds, man. And uh, I was so lucky, you know, because growing up in a household where, you know, my mom and my dad are listening to like Los Bukis, Los Jonix, and listening to Juan Gabriel and listening to like Marco Antonio Solis and listening to all these different sounds. And then here's my older brother who was listening to the Fat Boys, listening to Run DMC, listening to Curtis Blow, you know, Houdini, and then bringing, you know, music from, you know, his friends that was like freestyle, like George Lamond, the Cover Girls, Noel, Johnny O, Cynthia, all these like mixtures of sounds. That's the household that I was raised in. And so, you know, all these different sounds just kind of was what I was kind of, you know, taking from here, taking from there, even some salsa and some merengue and some cumbias and stuff like that. So I wouldn't even understand like how to define, you know, to the T, like who Frankie J is. It's just a massive mixtures of different sounds and genres of music. So I don't know, man. It's hard to pinpoint everything, you know, but it's a big old salad bowl of nothing but, you know, just great music.
Can we just say it's pure music?
That's it.
Pure
like
music.
A big old fondue, salad bowl, whatever it is, man. Variedad de todo, man. That makes.
De todo.
Actually, as a matter of fact, when you think about it, that sounds like the whole Latino fucking culture, man. To be honest with you.
I mean, you name go from Celia Cruz to, you know, I mean, from everywhere. Gloria Estefan. I mean, every single corner of the Latin, you know, community in the world, man. That's we were right there, listening to everything, you know.
True, that's true.
So those are all the inspirations. I mean, yeah, that's it.
That's very dope, man. Yo, speaking about being very dope, I swear I heard you like in a Super Bowl, man. Yo, Willy, didn't you like?
No, it was at halftime. This is the day that we all found out shit was real with COVID. It was actually at the Thunder, Oklahoma Thunder game versus the Utah Jazz.
Versus the Utah Jazz. I was right there. It was.
I mean, what was going through your head in that moment that they told you got to go on now? You only got 6 minutes.
Mm-hmm. It was history in the making, man. This is the first time that NBA actually ever canceled a game. Spot on, because obviously what was happening in our world at that time, and still. But you know, I was hired to be the halftime show entertainment, and I was only supposed to perform like 3-4 songs, and you know, the day before, they called my team and they said, before you land or when you land, you're gonna get tested for COVID-19. So I was like, oh man, okay, you know. And they said, would you mind if you get tested before you go in and perform? And I, you know, of course, all of us were like cool about everything, you know. We're like, yeah, whatever needs to happen, let's just make it happen so we can get this show on the road. So we land in the morning in Oklahoma City. We're all traveling from San Diego. And so we get there, and as soon as we land, we go to our hotel, and then we receive a call and they said, hey, someone from, the team is going to call you guys because they're going to pick you guys up, take you to a clinic, and you guys are all going to get tested. And depending on the results, then we'll move forward. So we were all pretty, we were feeling good, man. And we were positive that we were not going to be positive. So we finally get to the clinic, and they did the test on it. They didn't do that whole thing where they put the stick in your nose or whatever. They didn't do none of that stuff. All they did was check our temperature. And they checked our regular, like the heartbeat, your lungs, if you had any kind of high temperature, and we were all good. So they got the word, we were fine. And the next day, that same day we went into sound check. And we were good, man. Everything was fine. And in the evening, we were starting to hear rumors about, the whole COVID thing and that it might have affected one or two of the players, but we didn't know what team. We didn't know if it was from, the Utah Jazz or the Oklahoma City Thunder. So within all this that's going on, I'm not really scared about it, man. I'm not, feeling any kind of weirdness towards, me performing. All of us were kind of just, cool about it. It was just three of us that were traveling. It was my sound engineer, myself, and who else was it? My social media guy. His name is Jose. He had the camera. He was filming everything. And then come showtime, we're in the middle of it all, man. And we see people panicking. We're in the security area. We're looking at the monitors, and we're seeing people moving, man. Like people coming outside, going back in. People with like these yellow jackets. I don't know if it was just staff members or security. And they just kept saying, stand by, this and this and this and that. And we're just kind of looking at each other like, okay, is this going to happen or what? So about 20 minutes in, we get someone from the team, as we're waiting in security, we get someone from the team to escort us all into the court. Mm-hmm. So, they tell us, like, you're going on right now. We're not having, the game hasn't even started. You're going to go on right now. Are you ready to go? And we're just looking at each other like, what the hell? Like, yeah, I guess, So they give me the microphone. I put my in-ear monitors on. I get my little pack thing and, put it on my belt. And then I hear the announcer, all right, everybody, this is our halftime show. None other than, Frankie J, blah, 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 blah. And then the crowd just like starts to, make some noise. And then boom, I go on and I perform. I think I performed 3 songs. And, I got the crowd going. Everybody was like hyped. Nobody was really tripping, but they were kind of like wondering, like, what the hell's going on? Like the halftime show already? Yeah. So as I'm singing the last song, I want to say it was probably Sugar Sugar. On the I hear from the announcer saying, "All right, everybody, that was it for the day. What do you say? The game has been canceled. You can all go home." And as I hear those words, I'm like, "Oh shit, I better get out of here before they start throwing things." Something's gonna happen here, man. And bro, I get my check. Vámonos para el hotel, and we go straight to the hotel.
So and, lucky for you guys, they didn't keep you in the stadium because
they asked me. They asked me if I wanted to stay, and I said, "Hell no!" I said, "I'm gone. Let's go."
Because I was watching ESPN that whole night, and I know that the players were there till like 2 or 3 in the morning, getting tested. Wow. All the players.
Wow. See, I didn't know that.
Yeah, so like you got lucky on that day. So
I did.
Speaking about Sugar, your relationship with Baby Bash, like your music relationship, you know, you guys been doing music for over, like, you know, years now.
Yeah. Well, we've been friends for a very long time. You know, I met Bash back when he was Baby Beesh, back in '99, early 2000. Baby Beesh, that was him. Baby Beesh, he loves his chicken greasy. That's how he you know, was known.
Yeah.
And both, you know, two Cali boys living in Texas, you know, not knowing what was going to happen with our careers. We just knew we were in something that was definitely, you know, we saw a bright future. You know, we were both hustlers, you know, we were both just pursuing our dreams. And we met while I was with the Cumbia Kings and he was with Dope House, with SPM, South Park Mexican. So we would do shows together, the Cumbia Kings and Dope House. Sometimes we would do shows around Texas, like Corpus Christi, Houston, San Antonio, El Paso, wherever we could, you know, partner up together and do something together. And we ended up just, you know, becoming friends. And when I left the group 4 years later, this was back in 2003, when I left the group, he came down to his hometown, Vallejo in California, and he hit me up. He called me and he goes, yo, man, I'll be in Cali. Are you in Cali? I was like, yeah. He goes, let's work. Let's do something. So I was like, yeah, let's do it. So he came down. He drove from Vallejo. I think he was doing something in LA. And then from LA, he drove down to San Diego. That's where I live. And we ended up getting in the studio. Not really a studio. It was a little setup at one of my buddy's house where he was living at with his parents. And we were just, you know, trying to figure out what to do. It was setup was inside his living room, closet full of clothes. He had a microphone in there. And we just started working. And we wrote Sugar Sugar in San Diego. And I recorded it in that closet full of clothes. Mind you, it's the same exact little setup where I had recorded a song called Don't Wanna Try, which was my first big top 10 record as a solo artist when I left the group. Then came Sugar Sugar. So we were, you know, working in that same little studio, that same little setup. And, you know, everything else from there is history, man. We just, you know, we had a really, really cool start. We started touring together, doing shows together, selling records together, and just having a good time, man, on the road. So, you know,
you guys had an album together too, right? If I'm not mistaken.
We had one album together after all the years of touring and working. Like, we never really sat down to put an album together, but years later, we came up with this idea. Well, actually, it was his concept to put together an album, and he called it Sangria. You know, don't ask me why, but you know, Fresh has all these different weird, you know, ideas and concepts. But that's what makes him who he is. You know, he's got that whole creative side about him with different lingos and words. And he called it Sangria, and we did that back in 2012, I believe. No, I'm lying. Not 2012. This is 2017.
Yeah. But the same with my hold up, man. 2012. No.
Yeah, that was way back. I was doing something else back then in 2012. I was an album of mine. Yeah.
Yeah, because Faith, Hope, and Amor, that came out in 2013. So that's probably what you was working on.
Yeah. I was touring in 2012 with Enrique Iglesias and Jennifer Lopez at that time. And that was the album that got nominated for an American Grammy. Yeah, that was 2012, 2013.
That's what's up,
nice.
Man. That's what's up,
That's
man.
what's up. All right, take it from there, Flo.
Take it from here?
Take it.
Well, man, look, man, we actually appreciate your time. You actually making time for us, the MIGO experiment here. Is there any words of encouragement, man, you might have to any artists, man, who are actually trying to come up and actually come out and make their own independent music?
I would just say make friends with everybody, build relationships with everybody, because you never know who you're gonna be working with tomorrow. They're gonna be the next big producer, the next big songwriter. Stay friends with everybody, work well with people. I would say surround yourself with like-minded people, people who are positive, who want to see you win, and vice versa. Anybody that wants to be in this music industry, be original, be yourself, be unique. Don't follow trends. Don't listen to the radio. Do you, and that's it. That's what makes you a star. That's what's going to make you stand out from everybody. And that's something that is definitely true words, man, that are coming from my heart to those who are trying to do anything with music. And this is something that I always convey to my kids, with my son. He's 19 years old. He wants to be an artist. He produces his own music. He writes his own stuff. And I always tell him, I said, if you're going to do this, this is not an easy game. This is a very hard industry. There's a lot of sharks out there. If you have thick skin, you can go ahead and do it. But if you don't, you're gonna end up, being bit, and you're not gonna like it. I go, but this is something that I'm telling him from my personal experiences. So I just, basically just let him know, like, this is not an easy thing. Believe in yourself, have faith, and have God in your heart, man, because that's ultimately the real reason that's going to help you stay out there and have longevity. Other than that, that's it,
Amen, man. Words from Frankie J.
Amen.
Frankie, how can everybody follow you, man, and listen to all your music?
Well, my social medias are Instagram is The Real Frankie J, Twitter, The Real Frankie J. My Facebook is Frankie J Official. I don't really mess with TikTok, but it's The Real Frankie J if you want to follow me. My Snapchat, I really don't use it, The Real Frankie J. But for the most part, it's really me, talking to everybody, commenting here and there. No haters on the site. No haters on the site, please. If you want to follow me, all positive people only. That's it, man. But I have fun with them. I have fun with the social media. So yeah, they can definitely follow me there.
Cool, man. I appreciate it, man. Well, you already know where to follow me too, man. Henry Flow FLO_DCF.
And you can follow me at Eldon Willy.
As well, too. Follow MIGO Experiment and MIGO Productions. And follow HF Enterprise right here, man, for bringing you.
There it is. I see it in the
here.
back.
Yeah, man. Yo, tag and title where nerd real work as well, to artists who need to get their stuff copyrighted and whatever. Gotcha. HF LLC 301-937-837. Check it out. Yeah.